guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video is special because I've never done a dupes video before. I am absolutely in love with my new Nudes palette by Huda Beauty. You guys must know that. I have 2 videos on this one. And I absolutely love it. Yesterday I received this palette right here, which they look so similar, right? This palette here is from Alter Ego and it is called the Daydream Palette. I have one palette on this side, one palette on this side, and I want you guys to look at my eye right now and try and figure out which one is which. So take your guess. If you want, comment it down below. See if you were right by the end of the video. So I'm super excited to show you guys how this Daydream palette by Alter Ego compares to the Huda Beauty new Nudes palette and whether it's worth getting that one instead of the new Nudes, just because there is a huge price difference. So keep watching this video if you've been wanting this new Nudes palette by Huda Beauty but it's just a little bit out of your budget. Please don't forget before you leave to give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. It helps promote my video. Comment down below which one you think is which one was your favorite, anything you want. And if you're new here, my name is Patty. I love doing lots of makeup videos, so make sure you subscribe to my channel before you leave. So if you want to know which palette is which, let's just go ahead and get started. So while I was filming yesterday, I got a package delivered. I was not expecting anything, and when I opened it, I saw this. This is the new palette from Alter Ego. It is called the Daydream Palette. The packaging, it is so dreamy. I love purple and pink clouds. Like whenever it happens, like it actually happens in the sky, I cannot stop staring at them, and it is like pink and purple clouds all around the packaging. So of course it immediately piqued my attention. Inside the packaging it looks the same, but when I went ahead and opened it, I saw this right here. And it reminded me an awful lot to another palette that I have. And of course that is the new Nudes palette by Huda Beauty. Which one's which? This right here is the Huda Beauty new Nudes palette. I love the new Nudes palette by Huda Beauty. I have 2 videos on it. One of them is a 5 looks 1 palette. It is one of the most popular videos on my channel, so I know you guys love this palette too. I also know it is a $65 palette, so it is not for everyone because a lot of us can't justify spending $65 on a palette. I myself bought this one 30% off just because I had the opportunity to do so. This dupe for it right here, the Daydream palette from Alter Ego, retails, I believe, for $18. Now that is a great price. In this video, of course, what I want to do is I want to compare the 2 palettes and see how good this Alter Ego palette is, how the pigment and the blendability is, and if it's worth getting it for a fraction of the price of this one. By the way, thank you so much Alter Ego for sending this my way so I can make this video. They sent me another palette in the past and I haven't been able to make a video on it yet because it is a dupe for a palette that I don't have, and I wanted to make a video comparing the 2. So that other video might still be coming in the future. I'm not 100%. Okay, so here are the 2 palettes side by side. As you can see, the Alter Ego Daydream palette has very, very similar shades. They're just organized differently. The packaging is very similar. The size of the pants is very similar. I did read that overall the Huda Beauty one has more product in the palette than the Alter Ego one. So the pants must be a little bigger, but it wasn't by much. So I'm super excited to play with these 2. I'll be putting one on this eye, one on this eye, and comparing. I have some brushes here that are the exact same because I want to make sure that I'm using the same tools as well to be fair to both palettes. So we're going to be using 2 M441 brushes, which is a big fluffy brush from Morphe. We're going to be using 2 M433, also from Morphe, and 2 M506 by Morphe for the under eye area. I didn't have any flat brushes to apply pigment to my eyelids with, so what I'll be using is this right here. This is a tool that actually came out with the new Nudes palette to press on pigments onto your eyelid. It's super easy to clean and it's also 2-sided, so I can use one side for each palette. I'm going to start by using the conceal shade from the new Nudes palette, and the Daydream palette also has a conceal shade, so I'll be using both of those as a base for my eyeshadow, and I will be applying it with my fingers. I can actually use that conceal shade right now because that redness that you see right there is staining from yesterday's look. that has not gone away yet, so we need to most definitely cover that up. Breaking into my Alter Ego Daydream Palette, we're just going to press that shade on. I think so far the conceal shade from the Alter Ego palette is a bit more emollient, like it blended out nicer, but I think that might be just because my Huda Beauty one I've had for a while and it's not like covered or anything, so that might have dried it out a little bit. The difference honestly was not that much. So on my left eye, I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty palette and the color Secret right here at the bottom. I'm using the M441 brush, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one on the crease of my eye. I'm going back and forth in windshield wiper motions, making sure everything blends out. The Huda Beauty one is super buttery, like it took nothing for that to blend on the crease. I'm going to do a little bit of a second layer of it, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the Daydream palette, except the color is called Sunkist and is up here on the upper right corner of the palette. I'm using the same brush but the clean one, and one of the things I observed immediately is that this color Sunkist is a lot more powdery than the Huda one. Not a big deal to me, honestly, but just something to note. So we're going to do the same thing and put it right here on the crease of this eye. And I'm going to do a little bit of a second layer too. It started off a bit patchy, but it blended out super nicely afterwards. That's the first color on. So far, so good. This one did go in a bit patchy like when I first started blending it, but immediately blended out super nicely, so not a big deal. Back to this side's brush and the color Teddy right here at the bottom. We are going to just kind of give our crease a little dimension with this one. I'm going to go ahead and place it right here on the outer side of my crease. And I love that color Teddy. It's really, really nice. In the Alter Ego palette, that color Teddy is most similar to the color Fawn right here. So I went back to the Alter Ego brush and the color Fawn, and we are going to place it in the same spot. So outer corner crease area there, and blending it in. And that one blended out really nicely. I had absolutely no issues with it. So back to my Huda Beauty palette, I'm switching my brush. This is a clean M433, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the color Spanked right here on the top right corner of the palette, and I'm going to place that one on the outer corner of my eye right there. Pat, pat, pat it. So I'm going in with a second layer, patting it on the outer corner and into the crease ever so slightly. Here's a clean M433 for the other side. I know it looks pink right here, but that's because it's stained. On the Alter Ego palette, the color Spanked is called Enchanted, and it's this one right down here. So we're going to do the same thing, just patting it on the outer corner and blending it into the crease. I think on this Alter Ego eye, the color looks a bit more like cranberry-ish, like it's not as cool tone as this one. So patting it on that outer corner, blending it into the crease a little bit. I'm going back to my big brush on the Alter Ego side, and I'm going to just make sure everything's blending nicely up there. I didn't feel the need to do that on my Huda Beauty side, but I just want them to look the same, and I felt like this one needed a bit of extra blending. Back with the same brush, I'm going to deepen it up even more, and I'm going to use the color Love Bite right here from my Huda Beauty palette. Same brush, and I'm just going to tap it right on the outer corner of that eye. In the Daydream palette by Alter Ego, the color is called Sugar Plum, and again I'm just tapping it right there on the outer corner. Okay, so this is how we are looking. I don't know how you guys see it on the other side of the screen there, but in my mirror right here in front of me, the Alter Ego side just looks a little bit more red. This one looks a little bit more plum, but you can barely tell the difference. Like, it looks very, very similar, honestly. We are going to go ahead and play with the shimmers now, which I'm very excited about. So from my Huda Beauty palette, I'm going to use my little Huda tool here, and on one side of my sponge, I'm grabbing the color Infatuated, and I'm going to go ahead and press it to my eyelid. And I'm very curious to see how the Alter Ego ones perform, just because I feel like this was such a different formula of eyeshadow for like Huda to make, or like press glitter or whatever, that I'm very intrigued to see how they duped it in the Alter Ego palette. So again, I'm using that same side of my sponge and I'm just pressing it all through my eyelid. And when I get to the deeper part of the eye right here, I'm just going to tap it just so that it kind of blends. So the side of the sponge that I use for the Huda one is the one that says Huda right here. I'm going to use the other one that says Eyes Fender Blender, this side, to use the Starlight color from the Alter Ego palette. Texture feels just as like gritty, and we're going to go ahead and start applying it. I almost feel like the Alter Ego one went on smoother, like I got the stuff stuck on my eye faster. I'm confused. It took less effort for me to do the Alter Ego side as far as the glitter was concerned than the Huda one. They do look a little different. On the Alter Ego side, I see a bit more brightness as far as the glitter. Like it looks like there's a bit more like gold maybe in there. It just looks a little brighter over here. This one looks more pink and mauve than this one. But there's very little difference, and again, this one went on super smooth. Just because I want to compare as many shades as I can, I'm going back to my Huda Beauty palette and I'm going to bring in another brush. This is the Sephora collection number 18. I'm grabbing the color Crave right up here and I'm going to use it underneath my brow as a little bit of a highlighter. I'm going to flip my brush to the other side and I'm going to use the color Starcrust up here on the Alter Ego palette, right underneath this brow. Those two look very similar and they blend it out really nicely. So what I'll do now is I'm going to clean the fallout underneath my eyes. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my makeup and I'll be back to finish up the under eye area and to give you guys my final thoughts. Okay, we are back. Let's go ahead and finish up the under eye area. I have two brushes here. They're both M506. We'll start with the Huda Beauty side first. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the color Tickle right here in the center with my brush. And we're going to blend it underneath our eye there. I'm doing a second layer of that color Tickle. Switching my brush. On the Daydream palette, the color Tickle is called Sunset right up here. And we're going to put it right underneath this eye. So this is what it looks like, and I think this shade does look a little different. This one's definitely a lot more mauve-y. This one has a bit more like peachy in it somehow. And it didn't blend as nicely as the Huda Beauty side did. Nevertheless, they are super close and you get a very similar effect with the Daydream color. I'm going to deepen it up a bit and I'm using my Sephora collection number 18 brush and the color Love Bite for this under eye here, the Huda Beauty side. And I'm going to place it only on the outer like third of my under eye there. I'm wiping my brush off because I don't have another one of those, and I'm going to grab the color Sugar Plum, which is the equivalent from the Daydream palette, and I'm also putting it right there on the outer third of my eyelid. So now for the inner corner, I'm going to use my Daydream color from the Huda Beauty palette, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it with my messed up little pinky. I broke a nail and it looks gross, but this is the only finger with no nail, so it's the only one who can reach there. Just like that. That looks really beautiful. I wiped off my pinky and I'm going to use the color Fairy Tale from the Daydream palette. Just like that. And before I even put any mascara on or anything, I'm going to show you guys close-ups of both looks so you can see how they blended and all the details between the two. Alright, so here we are. This is the Huda Beauty side right here. You can see how like it fades in beautiful, it fades out beautiful, like there's absolutely no harshness, no lines, nothing like that. It looks absolutely stunning. The inner corner shade looks super nice and bright, and it blends and it fades out into nothing as well. On this side, even though they are super close together, I feel like the inner corner color is kind of a little bit like harsher. I feel like it faded out really nicely, but it didn't fade like inwards as well as the Huda Beauty side, and there's slight difference in the shades, but I'm thinking more we need to consider like how it blends and how buttery the shadows are. Honestly, not that big of a difference for how big the price difference is. I think you definitely have to work a little harder with the Daydream side to look as smooth as the Huda one, but obviously you can get almost the exact same look with both palettes. I'm going to go ahead and put some mascara on and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Mascara is on and this is an up close of the final look. So again, this right here is the Huda Beauty side, and then this is the Daydream Alter Ego side. Besides putting mascara on, I also straightened my hair a little bit because I slept with it wet last night and it was not cute. The mascara I used was the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara, and on my lips I have two things. I have MAC's Whirl lip liner and Milk lipstick in Skills, which is a beautiful like nude shade. Let me tell you guys my final thoughts. Obviously, Alter Ego wanted to dupe the Huda palette because the Huda palette is amazing and they did a fantastic job at it. If you can't spend the money on the Huda Beauty palette because it's just out of your budget, but you still want those kinds of shades, I would definitely buy the Alter Ego palette for only $18 because it is a steal. The Huda one is better. The quality of the ingredients is probably better. It blends out better. It was a bit easier to get here with this one, except for that shimmer, but all of the matte shades in the Huda one are just butter. With the Alter Ego one, it wasn't super hard to blend or anything, but as you can see, like, it looks a little bit harsher there on the outer corner. I couldn't get those darker shades to go in high enough. This one was just easy and like exactly what like needed to happened. And this side here, I just feel like that like outer part is a bit different. It didn't blend out as nicely, but obviously there's a huge difference in the price, so you gotta put the pros and the cons and see which one to go for. Besides the Alter Ego one being $18, I think when they sent me the first palette that I haven't done a video with yet, they sent me a discount code. I don't know if the discount code is for just that other palette or if it's for the whole website. I remembered it was 10% off. I'm going to look through my emails, and if I find it and it can also apply to this new Daydream palette, I'm going to go ahead and put that discount code in the description down below. I don't get anything from it. I think it's just a little incentive to help you guys out, and that would make this $18 palette even cheaper. So if I find that code, I'll definitely link it in the description box below. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. Are you interested in buying the Alter Ego Daydream palette? Is it more like on your budget? I feel like if you've been thinking about the new Nudes palette from Huda Beauty for a while and you just can't get yourself to buy it because of the price, I would definitely go for this Alter Ego palette. I doubt anything else out there is going to be as similar to the Huda Beauty one as this one is, so there is something to consider. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you guys like these types of dupes videos, make sure you let me know in the comments down below. This is the first one I do, so I would be interested to know if you guys are into these types of videos. If you do decide to go for the Daydream palette, I have a 5 looks 1 palette with the new Nudes palette from Huda Beauty on my channel. I'm going to go ahead and link it up there, so you can find inspiration for this palette on that video. You just have to kind of check what shades are the same. I don't know if you can maybe rearrange this one to look like the new Nudes one, and that would make it easier, I think. So make sure you check out that video if you want more rosy, pinky looks like this one. If you're not subscribed yet, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. My name is Patty. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, and that way you won't miss out on any of my videos in the future. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next video. Bye!